Hi everyone, here is Young Lee, and this video is the second part of cinematic portrait drawing. And today I want to show you how I make the atmosphere or the background in order to make this portrait like a scene from a cinema. I want to introduce you some new material I use sometimes to make the background, and this is the graphite powder. I have this since more than a decade, and still there is so much inside. I haven't used this very often because I usually use the charcoal powder, but this time I want to use this because the drawing is a small one, and also I don't want to mix up two different materials, charcoal and graphite. They are two different materials and they don't let them mixed up. They have a strange chemical reaction if you mix them together, because graphite has effect, it's a shiny, and charcoal isn't. And charcoal is more warm and naturally brownish, but graphite is kind of cold and it's more gray. So I wouldn't mix them together, but I sometimes make charcoal drawing, and maybe next time or maybe in the future, near future, I'd like to introduce you to use the charcoal powder. And I also have makeup brushes. They are very fine brushes, very soft one, and some are more soft than the others. This is even a little bit harder, and I sometimes use very small one to make details or go smaller parts, smaller shading, and this big one is for overall and for bigger space, bigger part. Then I use this big one. So I think we can maybe try a little bit. I usually take some on the cap, and I also prepare a paper to see the amount, because it's not good if the brush has too much powder and too dark at the beginning. So let's try. So there are sometimes the powders on the surface, so you can really spread them. So as you see, this airy and the light atmospheric background is made. But this is just one layer, and with time probably we need to do more layers, and to correct them you can use the same eraser, and they are basically the same material, the portrait itself, and you can also cover the suit because it's going to be anyway darker. It's more soft than you shade with your pencil, and this airy effect is not coming with a pencil. It's difficult, or maybe it's a little bit less efficient if you want to have the same effect. Yes, and now we have to do a little bit further with main portrait. So let's go a little bit further, and then we can work with the atmosphere again. You can add your pencil rendering or your pencil shading, of course, in the background if it is needed. And with a brush, you can also make at the same time blurry. But as you see, it's not as soft as with the effect is not the same. Some hair is visible from the head or from the cap, but the all over his forehead, which is not still showing, this is the inside of the shadow of the cap. So this part is much darker than his cheekbone part and the nose part, of course. He has very dark lashes and brows. I will cover the cap all with the powder because it's a gray, dark gray as well, or the suit. But the white shirt, I want to make it really white. So again, I carried away my drawing, but my phone had no battery. I didn't know that. And just before I have started to make the background, it has stopped. So you didn't see that I made this atmosphere or the background differently, not like the reference photo. In the reference photo, there are some windows in background and this lineary frame. I didn't want to draw, so I just made a kind of a cloudy and airy background. It's not difficult. You can use the needed eraser and make some part lighter and some part you can add even more powder, or you can also add some shading with pencils. This kind of technique with the brush is also sometimes very useful when you want to depict some special texture, like in this case, maybe the wool fabric. Here is like the cap and also the coat. As this wool is material which is not having kind of a very glossy surface, so there is not highlight that make really glossy. So you can use the brush to make the surface soft and maybe soft and matte. Here is a very good point that you give a bit extra light because he gets light from the right part. So this you can see the shadow underneath. But it's not very strong. The side lay is not very strong. It's like more up, but a little bit side. Maybe a bit reflections light. Make the neck more 3-dimension. I think I will do another video that I can use. I can create some background with the brushes and the graphite powder. I hope you have enjoyed watching my tutorial and the process, and I will see you in another video. Thank you so much and see you again. Bye!